I think I can get it to loop later.
Yeah, let's worry about it later.
We worry about it later.
Logo.
This is falling apart.
And we in there?
We're definitely trying.
Why is video not doing video things?
The light's on.
But nobody's home.
Mood.
Me.
Eternal mood.
Let's try this again. Do the thing I have to do.
Yeah,
for the
it's
video.
going. There's sound.
Video.
Good to hear.
Video. Just use the.
The thing you
Let's go
always
for
use.
the only one that's attached.
Hello, humans.
I'm gonna be mad if it.
Hey.
Did it.
Nope.
Why is it so stupid?
Where's
Video
Thomas?
capture.
I'm just not
You're a vampire.
I'm just...
We photoshopped you out.
I'm just not there.
No.
Even though I know I've been here the whole time, I'm just not there.
Have you been here the whole time? How do you know?
It looks like just your face and the half of court and nothing. It looks like a picture that you would have in like a 1990s movie about proving someone's a vampire. I'd be like, this house is haunted. Do you see? What am I looking at? They're not there. I mean, yes.
Correct.
So, guys, but for real, the weirdest thing is I haven't moved from this spot.
Yeah, that is. You might have been like down getting something.
Oh, thank God. I'm not a vampire.
You
As
went
far
back
as
to
we
Northern California and they claimed your soul.
Vampires would not live in NorCal.
Video capture device.
I don't know.
Device.
It's
Camera.
old-fashioned enough.
Oh,
Okay, now
that's
it's
it.
moving.
Less sunlight.
Stick.
If
Hey,
people
there we
go
go.
missing.
Start it there.
There we go.
I think that's the thing.
Hello.
Okay. So that took longer than expected, but I think that's
we're going.
working now.
We're going, though. What's up, anyone past, present, future? Welcome to New Dawn University session Who's Counting? And,
7 or 8.
7
I
or
was
8.
like, I think Dax is.
Welcome to session 7 or 8. Thanks, Dax. I appreciate it, because I sure am not. Wow, that makes me feel a lot better about the pacing of this. Today, we are joining our heroes as they move into the weekend of one of their long work weeks. They most recently, I think I canonically had it on a Wednesday, fought a supervillain who had escaped from Death's Door Turnablock, a high-class security prison. A villain by the name of Surge, who could travel along electric currents and been hiding inside the pulse of the student body, not the student body, of the school's president's heartbeat. And she came out to play, and there was much fighting to be done as toasters and kitchens and robots galore attacked the party, along with Surge herself. Surge was nothing to be laughed at. She probably could have gotten away, but she was having too much fun on the adrenaline high of potentially killing some people. So she didn't run away. She instead was captured by the students. And that's where we left off. She what?
She killed exactly 0 people.
Killed exactly 0 people.
Her name finally clicked for me.
Surge?
Because you kept saying Surge, and some dumb part of my brain was like Sergeant? Whatever, no big deal.
No, it's like the soda.
And then just now you said Surge, and I was like an electrical.
They're related to the Pokemon gym leader, Lieutenant.
That's
Surge.
literally why I thought about it. I was like, Sarge, like Lieutenant Surge.
And as I'm playing with the cat, we pick back up at the beginning of the weekend. Very rainy last couple days, falling over Sunrise City, as gray clouds roll overhead, and you can always hear the soft pitter-patter as the sky meets the sea, not the sea, but lake surrounding the city. It's always just a faint drizzle, nothing too heavy, but enough to definitely evoke that petrichor in the air and that mist sort of softly rising around the city. As we move into the weekend, the last thing your teachers told you, among everything else, was please honor your contracts and do not tell your parents about Surge. Do not tell people about Surge. Do not tell interviewers. Do not tell your friends. Do not tell your family. Just shut up.
What about the police? Did the police come in?
Yes.
They did.
The
And they
police
were
did
allowed to
come
talk
in.
to them.
Yes, of
Okay.
course. No talking to the police. No, the police.
They walked in, we were like, I don't know what happened.
You got to see Saltpeter again, actually, as the warden of DD Turnablock. He made his way back in and happily took the prisoner back to her high security cell and apologized deeply for all the going-ons, but recognizes that it was most likely Virgil's fault for antagonizing a woman who can enter your living heartbeat. She hadn't done it before to anyone. She could have. So Virgil's the common denominator in the one mistake. And those are his words.
All right.
Saltpeter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the common denominator in a quandary of one. Good job, Saltpeter. And so, yeah, you guys are basically given two sets of information. One is, don't let the cat out of the bag on this. We have enough problems as is, and we don't need the media and publicity creating more.
Mm-hmm.
And two, be prepared to start doing more inter-student conflict exercises, as Surge entered a student, and while she couldn't control their body, the courses so far have been a lot of, worry on the psychological and mental aspects of a villain. What if someone mind controls you? And now it's what if they just physically puppeteer you?
Mm-hmm.
They want to make sure that each and every one of you is capable of taking out each and every one of you.
Oh.
Yes.
Can do.
Yes.
On the off chance that something should happen and there's no one around, they need to make sure that you guys can handle yourselves. Not that you couldn't already, but they're going a little above and beyond, as this next week or two, they've said, will be explicitly a lot of inter-student conflict leading up to Virgil has an important test coming up in which he specifically wants to look at combat and psychology hand in hand, and there is additionally you guys are about halfway into this first little term, moving your way towards the inter-student body sports festival that will be recorded and televised across the world.
Dope.
And so we move into our rainy weekend, the soft and brittle nature of the week. Bless you, Locke. My little cat just sneezed. He's adorable. The soft and brittle nature of the sensitive subjects, effectively weighing on everyone's mind, and the mist slowly rising to create that further fugue of doubt and information.
Point for fugue, first of the new year.
Cool. First point of the new year. I'm gonna remember that.
First of the
Oh yeah,
new
Ilona
year.
won last year.
Yes.
Yeah, so she's 2 victories to my 1. But I'll get her.
Cheer regardless of who won. That's called a double-sided sword, I think.
Sure, maybe. I don't know.
I'm not getting any points.
I don't know what you're talking about. And so we move into the weekend. There is a text sent out on your secure phone lines by Ramona.
Oh.
As she says, hey, it's to everyone but Rex.
Oh.
And it says, hey guys, heard that Rex is actually doing a concert later this weekend. Would love to
Oh.
surprise him. Who's in? And then a detail link with like tickets.
Yeah.
F yeah.
And you get pretty quick responses from everyone. And then he's like, don't worry about tickets, guys. What as we move into this Saturday, your weekend is Saturday, Sunday, and you know for a fact, for whatever reason, Monday will be off as well. And it is actually on that Monday. Let's just, whatever I said, it's on that Monday that Rex's concert is happening.
Cool.
Federal.
There we go. I was gonna say it's a
Yes,
bank holiday.
it's a federal holiday. And so the rain's coming down, and what would all of you be doing on your first day off this week after all of the crazy chaos that has been New Dawn so far?
It's not so much on the day of, but after all of the hullabaloo of Surge, I would like to have sent a text. I didn't realize we were picking up several days afterwards. A text to Ryan.
Okay.
Just
Who?
staring at the wristband, typing.
I mean, he's in your contacts. He's easy to find.
That I was grateful
Oh my God, staring at the wall.
he came through the line to check that we were okay, and that I think it's a possible application of his superhero powers that he can get in places that people wouldn't think that he'd be able to get into, and that he can be a hero that way, and thank you for checking on us.
He says the response of, "Who's this?" JK.
His power is expanding.
Yes.
No, he forgets about people when he's not looking at them. Oh, God.
Oh,
no.
that's so lonely.
He would have such a. He wouldn't know it's lonely. Is
Yeah.
the worst part.
No, he'd feel it, but he wouldn't be able to change it.
Yeah. Like he would just feel terrible. Oh no, I don't like it.
That's
in
the
an empty
saddest
world.
shit I've ever heard.
But I don't know about the weekend. I just wanted to have said.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, and you would have gotten, like I said, who is this? JK. Appreciate it. I've been thinking about that as well. Lots of ideas. Mm-hmm. So this weekend, I have things planned as a dungeon master, but it's also a matter of if any of you guys wanted to accomplish anything during this weekend. Yes.
Just knowing that there's the test coming up, Robin is going to probably just like stake out a place in the library and start doing like charts of like how to counteract different students. Ilona doesn't know how to do all of that at the moment, but that's what Robin's doing.
Sure thing. It's almost like your characters can do fantastical, otherworldly, almost super powered things that you can't, and nobody expects you to be able to.
Nah, sounds fake.
You're right, Court. I need you to explode your calves.
Done and done.
Oh! You guys can't see this, but he
You
did
have to
it.
clean that out of the carpet. I am not paying for this.
Oh damn it. That's a lose-lose right there.
And Dax, I need you to get on the
I
ceiling.
did.
Oh.
What? Okay, sure.
Whoa, Dax! All the way up there. Impressive. Dax, no,
here we
stop,
go.
Dax,
no,
stop.
No, you're gonna pull cords.
Wires. He's wearing a wire. He didn't mean to, but he's doing it.
There's wires in his glasses.
Okay, so Robin is gonna head to the library and do some setting up, and it's really soft this weekend at the library. I mean, people are there, but you know, with the rain, a lot of people stayed in. A lot of people like they're hot cocoa for the weekend, and the few students who are here are the very attentive ones. You've got Kurt in a corner, like with 3 books piled up on one side and another 2 here, and he's got 2 open, and he's like cross-referencing some stuff.
So anime.
Yep. If his big giant glasses didn't tip you off.
Shing.
Yeah. Ching. And you get a very curt response from him. Hello. Just as he sees you coming. Hello. Yeah, I love him for that reason. A curt response. And there's a couple other miscellaneous background character students who I'm not going to bother naming.
People without anime hair.
Yep.
Their hair is black and brown. We don't care about them.
Yep. Hey, that's true of anyone who's...
I was literally like, that's the whole table.
Ryan has black hair. But he also has
Who?
albino skin and pitch black eyes.
Who are we talking about?
Shut up.
Right in your fucking wrist. What about it? Oh.
His superhero name just becomes Wrist.
I think a good superhero name for him would be Nevermind.
Actually, I know his superhero name already, but I'm not going to say anything.
I'm sure they already told us. I just can't remember what it was.
No, I haven't told anyone. Oh, shut up. So, Mikhail, the librarian, comes up and he behind his glasses, sort of adjusts them. A very plain-looking man from my previous descriptions of him. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing good. Just wanting to study up for the test. Just gonna stake out a table for both.
Yes, go. Good. I hear you are super.
I mean, yes, I'm
No. You are
I'm a student at the school, so I imagine
is word
I'm super.
popular? No.
What?
Robin Knight,
Many-
now I know you're lying.
Many things happening around you.
Yes, myself and a few others.
Yes.
My roommate as well.
Yes. Condolences.
Oh. Thank you. We've been able to handle everything so far.
Yes. Obviously.
Yes. Thank you for your concern. She wanders off.
Yep. And he, as you turn around, he's like,
Yes?
your family. And
What about
he takes
them?
he takes out a little like flip book of index cards. Mother's name. She works at agency, yes?
Yes.
Yes. Lewis.
Mm-hmm. That's my last name.
Yes.
Did she
Good
get
friends.
tall? You know her?
Yes.
Oh. Good. You work together then?
Previously.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Glad you're safe.
me too.
Go.
Okay.
Is he always this?
Yes.
Yes.
Nobody has had a single conversation with him yet.
I briefly said, "Where would I find the information?" and then walked away again. But neither of us like to talk, so I just walked away.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
he's
the
only ever said
library.
like a sentence at a time.
Uh-huh.
I talked to the library.
Not heavy conversation.
Okay.
Because I know you talked to him during the career day, as it were. But it was brief.
He faked us out.
And yeah. Yeah.
I was gonna say
Mikhail
apologies. I don't think I put down either of my parents' first names.
I was looking at the notes and I was like, you
Uh-huh.
put down your brothers.
I did, because those are the people I would refer to by the first name.
Mm-hmm. So your mom and dad. That's
Yeah.
all I'll ever
Mom's not her first name.
need. No. Mom Lewis. Dad Lewis. Brother Lewis. Younger brother Lewis. So that's what Robin is up to.
Mhm.
As for the three of you.
Since volunteering at a construction site is not going to happen on a rainy day, let's go soup kitchen. Increase visibility if we've got any NDU wear that we're allowed to wear.
Okay, yeah. You
School
go ahead and
sweatshirt.
check in, and you're given like a school sweatshirt and a cool a school sweatshirt and like a little lanyard, and you're told to be on your absolute best behavior. Actually, the teachers politely advise you not to wear any of the memorabilia for the school, but say that it is absolutely within your power. Go. Feel free to mention the school you go to, but do not advertise it.
Okay.
It is not required, but it is highly recommended.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then I will leave the paraphernalia
Mm-hmm.
behind.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll advertise me.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And the two of you?
Rin's doing some rainy day training. That very classic action movie. She's at the bottom of a waterfall in the rain doing planks.
Like
She's-
the eaves troughs.
But it's
Exactly.
not even a waterfall. You've fashioned something
Yeah, precisely
so that the rain gutter just gently trickles on top of you.
She's at the bottom no, stamina! And that's her day.
Okay. Allie?
Probably would have deposited a large thermos full of tea with Rin
I don't need it.
because I'd still deposit it. And then would have returned to my owner because wings take a long time to dry. That's just a bother. And there might be some studying, but I think she'd be very quickly just distracted and unable to keep her mind on it. So she'd be just wing doodling and trying to pull new things and trying to not think about the various attacks that have happened.
That's perfectly fair. Yeah.
If wings are a bother to dry, does Allie have to walk and use an umbrella?
Usually.
Okay.
Be an umbrella, or to just very tightly closed behind her and trying to cover them with a jacket, but it's not really working.
That's precious. Okay, let's see. I've
It's
got
like she's got a
four
tarp or
things
rubber
I need
sheet
to
that she
happen.
just sort of drapes herself in. It's
Cute.
a terribly fitting poncho.
Rin just evaporates.
Yeah.
Rain hits her and just.
We're gonna pop back to the library as you're making the charts. You don't notice it, but you just behind you, you feel the presence as soon as it's there. I think your numbers are wrong.
Which ones?
Quite a few of them, but especially these ones, and he points at the ones between you and him.
In what direction?
Well, for this one in particular, you've weighed your chances of victory much higher than they really are. And you can't help but hear the smile as he says that. And for the rest, it's minor things. I'd be happy to help.
I'd be curious to see your analysis and compare and contrast how we are viewing things.
Very well. Get ready for a very large Venn diagram, though. And he takes out a laser pointer and starts like circling different things.
Does he take out a laser pointer or does he make a laser
No,
pointer?
he takes one out.
Oh, he's ready.
And he's pointing at different things and different aspects, and like actually genuinely helping you in a lot of these, but is smugly confident that he would whoop you any day of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Of course he would be.
I refuse to change those numbers, no matter how many times he goes back to them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You're like sitting there, and he's like, "Oh, right here, you would do like 3 points worse." And you'd be like, "Okay, yeah, yeah, totally. No, that makes sense." He's like, "And with me," and you're like,
But he's
Don't
pointing
a
at
different
things,
phone.
circling them, underlines a couple things, and there's a
Uh-huh.
point where like he knows you're not paying attention, so he's just circling one thing over and over, and he's like, "Really, you, if you want my help, then you should be paying more attention."
I'm paying perfect attention to everything that I think is valid.
Ooh.
And he flips the laser pointer around into a pen for a second. You have a lot of hubris about you.
As do you.
I'm calling the pig
Yes.
black.
Which is why I have approached you.
So we can share in our hubris together?
No. I think the only reason I haven't been called out is because you were.
I think the reason I was called out was because I'm loud about it.
Yes. Perhaps.
You're much better at keeping your opinions to yourself.
Oh, not at all. Once I start a conversation with someone, I let them know how I feel, like I said. And he like flicks back to a laser pointer and circles the numbers surrounding the two of you again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very blatant.
Yes, you're very direct, but someone has to have a conversation with you first.
Flicks it back into a pen. Ouch.
I'm just... You don't present yourself as very approachable, so people
No,
don't...
I don't try to be.
Then there's your answer.
I wanted to talk about it, because as much as we could analyze our classmates, I find the most comparisons between the two of us, and there are things there that I think warrant,
Discussion?
discussion, conversation, yes. Analytics, if you will, based on what you're doing already. Ultimately, why are you pretending to be approachable if you don't think you are? Or rather, do you think you're approachable is the first question. Because you said, I don't think I am, and you're right, I don't.
I think I am approachable by equals.
Approachable by equals. So, you exude elitism, but there's a level of acceptance there.
Yes.
Okay, well, I suppose you could say the same of me, then.
I suppose perhaps a better difference is I find I am much more open to finding equals than you.
No, I meant that I am considerably more elitist than you in that fact. I do not believe they're equals. I believe there are betters. People can better me in many fields, but I'm unparalleled when it comes to my intellect. That is not a question. But broadening the parameters.
I know of at least one professor that would challenge you there.
Virgil? Easy. Have that man figured out sad ways to Sunday.
Maybe as far as you perceive.
Oh no, I've figured out exactly who he is, and that's for me to know and for everyone else to find out. But, okay, so...
So, question.
Yes.
Then. If you have everyone figured out...
I didn't
as it
say
were-
everyone, I said Virgil.
Do you have me figured out?
I don't have enough evidence on most of the student body. Virgil's track record is long and starts at a very specific point in time.
Which is?
Not mine to tell.
But yours to discover
I found it, didn't I?
and proceed to not share?
I didn't say it was mine to discover. I said I found it.
Wow.
You were saying something before this.
Yes, recognize how unapproachable I am. And I recognize how unapproachable you can be. But you have friends. And I don't. And so, like I said, I don't see people as my equals, I see them as my betters in different fields. And you are better at making friends than I am. And I am trying to bridge that gap. So I suppose I've come to you for some advice.
Who do you want to be friends with?
I don't know.
That's your first starting point. You have to tailor your approach to the person that you want to endear yourself to.
Wow, I don't know is in his vocabulary.
I don't know enough information about the rest of the student body.
Who do you like so far?
Who do I like?
Yes.
Do tell.
He takes his glasses off for a second and polishes them.
Because they were steaming up.
What's his name?
I suppose I get along with Rex, maybe? He says, completely oblivious to the, arguments the two of them were having literally last session.
Mm-hmm.
He's a bit of a leader. Rita, for that reason. I imagine she'll do great things. Especially who she is and all. I mean, there's you.
You did start a conversation with me. That is step one.
Okay, what's step 2?
Step 2 is finding common ground. Something that...
We're both elitist.
Not
Yes.
wrong.
We both think that we are better than other students.
Yes. What is your common ground with Rex?
Rex is one of the most talented people here.
So, connect on talent.
I admire his work ethic and determination that I believe far surpass that of any other student. Well, determination he has his betters, but the combination of the two, in tandem, in concert, if you will.
I assume you're planning on going to that?
I mean, I have to, don't I?
I mean, technically no. But if you want to be friends with Rex, then yes.
Yes. Yes, I do have to go then.
Then go to the concert and connect on music.
Oh, right, music.
It's got quite a technical side to it.
I'm certain it does.
It does. Particularly the sort that he deals in.
I mean, there's many different kinds of headphones.
Well, I'm specifically classical music. There's a lot of mathematics behind it all.
Okay.
Just if you'd never looked into that side of it.
I hadn't.
Start with box cannons. They're
Box cannons.
Yes, they're very
There's cannons in music.
It's very similar.
He takes the pen he has and makes like a miniature figure of a cannon. Of a cannon.
No.
I mean, 1812
Variations.
Okay.
Canon is the musical term for these
Got it.
cyclical variations. Very similar to what's it? Gödel? Gödel's proof of the incompleteness of arithmetic?
Yes. Okay, I could get behind that.
This is why I don't.
No, okay, so I should approach it like Gödel,
Yes.
and... Well, I know a lot about Gödel. So,
So the recursion of that proof is very similar to box cannons.
very interesting. Math turned into sound. I wonder if I can amplify his powers in any way, shape, or form with arithmetic.
Probably.
Frequencies are just a matter of pitch and intonation, which is formulaic. I have some ideas, thank you, Robin.
Yeah.
And I do not think you're as bad as people imagine you to be. I find your company rather pleasant,
Thank you.
despite mine not being as such.
Yours is amusing, if nothing else.
I'm glad someone finds it that. Don't forget to change those numbers. And he goes back to his books.
I won't.
You won't forget. Good. And then we're gonna transition over to here.
Oh Jesus.
Actually, let's go to the soup kitchen first. 'Cause why not? Let's do it in the order it went. The soup kitchen. There's this unique sort of moment for you, Isaac, where you're kind of serving up, and are you giving your spiel to everyone who will listen?
No, it's not. It's not forcing people to listen to it. It's just being visible to people, because that'd be forcing ideals on them, and that's not polite.
Okay, so you're working the soup kitchen, and one of the other like volunteers there strikes up conversation with you. She's maybe 5'7", 5'8", a bushel of just like her hair's caught in a hairnet, but you can see little red and gold strands sticking out. She goes, "Hello,
Hi,
how are you?
I'm doing great.
It's not often we get someone as young as you helping us out.
Why not?
It's most young people are a little too busy to think about others, or a little too, admittedly, selfish. They don't have the broad scope, but young hero should do it more often.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So you are a young hero then?
I mean, you just said it. So why not?
Well, you didn't. Are you studying at a hero school, or do you just have aspirations of heroism at a regular school?
No, I'm studying at a hero school.
Ah, happy to hear it. There are many, many important heroes who've come out of those schools. But have you done your research? Is it a good one?
Oh, I think so. I've been having a great time. Lots of, good training experiences, as it were.
Happy to hear it.
What's your? Well, first of all, I'm Isaac.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Vale.
Nice to meet you, Vale. Are you?
It's not Vale's
You just want everyone to be just.
a villain. Yes, I want everyone to be a villain. Don't mind me. Keep going. I'm sorry.
Different campaign.
Are you a usual here?
Yes, I serve here a couple days a week usually. I have a quota each month, and I try to get it out in the beginning, the first half if I can, just so that if I need to do things in the latter half when work picks up, I have the free time to.
What's your job?
Oh, I'm a missionary of sorts.
Go on.
Oh, well,
What are the sorts?
religion,
You
it's
might not
a
have
little
been
outdated
wrong.
at this time of day. Why would I do that to you guys? Why would I tease that?
Oh,
Sorely.
gee, can't imagine. That's the DM smile.
I'm a bit of a nun, actually. A lot of religion has sort of died out. Many people imagine supers as gods, and there are certainly some who rival the power of the theoretical divine. But I try and teach the tenets of the religions that my family once followed, and primarily among them is compassion. So,
What are the others?
grace, benevolence, kindness, empathy, forgiveness. All things I think are important for today's day and age, especially with the power complexes that go to some people's heads. It's very nice to see a super volunteering. It is reassuring.
Well, that's what heroes are supposed to be, right? We're just supposed to serve other people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you can't do it like out in the world yet, then this is the perfect place to start.
I wish more people thought like you.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm. And what school did you go to? I didn't catch that.
Oh, I'm just at New Dawn.
Ooh, impressive. I've seen the police floating around there quite a bit lately.
We have some really good training sessions.
I imagine if you have the police coming in, certainly some live recreations or something of the sort.
Well, it's just I tried to volunteer there.
With the police.
Mm-hmm.
They probably wouldn't have taken you.
I tried my best.
No, they have a very strict regimen they keep to, and who knows, maybe it would have interfered with your studies or something.
Sounded like good practical experience, if you ask me.
Mm-hmm.
But so is this, because I get to meet everybody.
I agree. These are the people whose lives you one day may have to save, and each and every one of them will be grateful to have a familiar face doing it.
Mm-hmm. And you're saving them right now.
That is the hope. What exactly is your power?
I just manipulate gravitational fields for me and anything I'm holding.
That's
So
exciting.
I change the directions.
So if you were going to drop soup, you could stop that from hitting the ground.
I could juggle it up and down like this.
Oh.
But I can't do it here because we're not allowed to use our powers, and that'd be just I can't do that.
Ah, yes. You haven't gotten your right news tool. Well, I've heard that you're all on a very fast track, and we'll see how quickly you win it.
I'm looking forward to it.
It's exciting to hear about the school. Not a lot of information comes out from there.
Yeah.
Though everyone's excited for the big televised debut soon.
Well, I'm excited. That's gonna be great.
Likewise, I'm rather invested. Just you look for exciting entertainment when you're not a super.
Insight, if there's anything in the whole I'm invested thing that's a little bit more than just entertainment. That one.
Oh, there might be.
What a sentence! Yeah, you had a hunch.
Well, I'm looking forward to putting on a show personally, because it can get pretty flashy. Well, at least the way I do things. Is
I
flashy.
imagine with how many students were turned down. Very specific crowd.
Heck yeah.
We're trying to up our internet.
Yeah, cats will get us more followers.
Definitely.
How many were turned down?
Oh, there were hundreds upon hundreds of students leaving the campus that day. I remember that. Everyone was so excited to see them coming in and out. All these young, aspiring supers for this one school. And as far as I'm aware, what, a handful of you? 150, 160 got in?
Something like that.
I mean, that's at least 1 to 10, 1 to 12 odds. That's impressive. And I think the odds are greater given that that's just the people they invited, not just who applied.
Fair.
One cat is trying to fight the other aggressively, and he is upset that we are stopping him. He's coming right back over.
You have to get through Rin first.
Yep.
Thank you. Boot.
Hey, well.
Well, it's a pleasure seeing you here, and perhaps some of your classmates can join you next time.
I tended to off camera invite people occasionally,
Off camera.
but you know, as you said, people are busy.
Mm-hmm. Well, good luck with everything,
Thank you.
really. And I'll be cheering for you in the festival.
I appreciate that.
Yes. What was your name?
I'm Isaac.
Isaac. Like I said,
She's
Vale.
free.
And she shakes your hand one more time, and you go back to serving.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're gonna pop over to these two. As you are sitting under your double gutter waterfall, planking, and Ali brings you some hot tea
Ooh.
in a thermos. Jareth comes walking up, because I mentioned you're outside if there's rain coming on you.
100%.
And
Just punched a hole
Jareth.
in her ceiling.
that's hilarious.
They'll fix it.
Jareth, as he's walking over, you notice like rain is like stopping before it hits him and just falling to the ground.
Neat.
As he approaches, he's like, "Hey,
Howdy.
hey,
Hello.
you.
You.
Did you convey the message for me, Rin? I'll just do it now. I want to fight you.
Why?
I want you to try and rip my blood out
Why?
so I can stop it."
What's your...
We were literally given this assignment in class.
Okay, we're not in class.
I've been practicing magnetizing the air and my body to repel and attract things on a very small scale. And I'd like to see if I can stop the blood from leaving.
That makes sense, because your power is magnetism as far as I can see, and I mean, blood has iron in it and stuff. We probably have
If
to
it
do
makes you feel
in-
any better, I'm not the only one who wants to fight.
I mean, lots of people here want to fight. That's why they're all heroes.
Yeah, but context. And then like Rita comes from
Oh, jeez.
like she like tumbling into view almost.
Oh.
Yeah. And she's just working out on campus because she's got the open fields. And she like wipes mud from like her hands onto her face accidentally, and she's like, "Oh, hey, you,
Hi.
how you doing?"
You? Good. How are you?
Good. Good to see you again.
Mm-hmm.
She shakes your hand, and then she looks at Jeff, and she's like, likewise. And he's like, not right now. And she's like, okay. So we have that assignment.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I was kind of thinking that, like, you kind of clobbered me.
I've clobbered most of these classmates.
Yeah, but I mean, you got me real good.
A little bit.
And I don't think that was a great demonstration of what I can do.
I don't know what you can do.
Most people don't yet.
Tea?
Sure. She gives it a little waft before taking a sip and handing the thermos
It's
back.
heavily sugared.
Not my tastes, but I understand why you're drinking it. But you have shown a lot of leadership and excelled at becoming one of the forerunners of the class, Rin, and I admire that as someone who is trying to do the same but isn't bringing the same results.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it would be beneficial for the both of us to be friends and to try and become better friends. And I'd like to start that with a fight.
That's the way to do it. You just made a friend with Rin.
Right now?
Well,
Rin is immediately like, it's almost like a pirouette up as a foot moves back into a lunge position and both fists just...
not immediately. I was thinking that since we have the extra day this weekend, that we might ask to requisition some of the resources on site. Perhaps a room where we could fight. And Jeff's like, told you I'm not the only one.
I mean, Rin wants to fight everyone, so everyone wants to fight Rin.
Yeah, but I don't want to fight Rin. I know how that goes. I've lost every time.
Hey, you're one of the few to withstand a punch from me.
Mm-hmm.
True. We're gonna change it eventually, but I'm working on one problem at a time.
We are both having very different goals, it seems.
Yes. I'm dealing with the opponents I can't catch first.
Ooh.
That is smart, and we'd have to do it in class, so it makes sense. I don't want to say do my best.
So he's
because
like,
I'm not
wait,
with-
so you're trying to fight? And he's like, yep. You're trying to fight? Yep.
Doubles match. Doubles match.
And they both like have that silent like anime look at each other.
Both at once. I'm on.
2-on-2.
Oh. Oh! Yes!
My arm. I don't heal like you do, but I can manage it. Yeah. Okay.
The rain is now visibly evaporating off of Rin. She's like, yes, 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 yes.
Allie's
yes,
just
yes,
huddled
yes,
underneath
yes,
a
yes,
sheet
yes.
of plastic.
When? Where? Monday? Where? Do we have a place yet?
I mean,
Who should we ask?
and Rita immediately fires off all the necessary information. She's like, and I've basically got all the paperwork filled out because I was imagining you'd say yes anyways. So I just have to walk into the office.
Want to go right now?
Yeah.
Sweet.
And so you guys go running off to the office, fill out the paperwork, and are basically given a room with a teacher supervising.
Kidding.
It's duplex, but she looks a little tired.
Duplex, what's up?
Oh.
And she brings you to them. She's like, don't worry about me. Main me's a little occupied right now, so it's just not main me.
Does she need any help?
No, she's doing good. She's got a couple others than me.
Does she need help from not a duplex?
No, we're usually enough to handle anything. But I'm gonna be here for you today. Don't mind my tired. She's just a little thin.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. We needed a supervisor for the fight, and everyone else is also a little occupied, so.
Well, we don't need to fight until Monday, I thought.
No. The paperwork you filled out was for extra stuff in the room, like right now. Like in the next 10 minutes.
Didn't look at the paperwork.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ow.
Yep.
All right, Rita.
Well, that was duplex there, and then Rita's like, yep, I just got a building D, same as always. Cool. And we're gonna have this 2v2
Yeah.
happen.
Okay. I can't wait.
But I want to see if there's anything else from this side of the table first. because this may take a sec, and this is one of the...
a text and is like, hey, who wants to watch some martial combat happen?
You get quite a few responses, so a good few of the class will happily watch. And this is a
dear.
justification if you guys want to be there.
Somebody film it.
Nah.
Okay.
Robin's busy taking notes and
Okay.
she's taken a lot of what Kurt said to heart and is looking at her numbers of the two of them, like secretly, but she's not gonna change them.
Sure.
Someone's watching.
She's going to ensure her numbers are right.
And the only reason I check in is, like I said, this is a moment where I'm actively shifting the spotlight to half the table for a bit, and I want to make sure the two of you are okay with that.
You're good.
Okay. The four of you originally, and then a couple other students, be it some of your classmates, some of the other classmates, like classes 1B, who haven't seen enough of class 1A.
We've got an audience.
And are doing their studying right now by watching you.
Predictable.
Predictable, like
predictable.
you guys are about to go through the door and you hear for 6 seconds. Then he puts a finger up, and you hear the door unlock.
Thanks.
Just gonna silently hand him a lollipop as we go inside.
He crunches it in the first bite and
I
chews it
figured.
a couple times.
Spits the stick
Inside.
out somewhere.
6 stomachs.
Rin is immediately ready to throw down. Within a minute of being inside of the room, her internal temperature has just evaporated all the rain off of her, and she's downing like half of a smoothie that she's been carrying this whole time.
So you make your way into the room, and this room that's been set aside is 300 or so. Like it's obviously downstairs. It's downstairs where all of the combat rooms are. 300 across, 100 the other way, open terrain. And Duplex is there. Like there's stands set up on either side, but projectors primarily.
Oh.
And Duplex begins explaining, this is where we've done a couple of our exercises before, 1B, but 1A is going to be using it for the first time today. Duplex as the homeroom teacher for 1B, by the way. Because she can be in a lot of classes at once.
She's everybody's homework teacher.
No.
Except ours.
Except
Okay,
ours.
Kara. So today, some of the 1A'ers wanted to get ahead on their homework, which take the initiative, guys. You know what to do. She says this at 1B. Primarily, they're going to be doing this duel back and forth. I'm here to regulate. Each of you is here to watch. Do not participate. I will punish you thoroughly. And you don't want that, because it won't just be me. It'll be me and all of the rest of me's. Because we don't have collective memory till we join back up. So, I'll spread the word that you need punishment. And you will face it 7 times. Oof. She cracks her neck one way and then the other. Now, this is not the norm, but, I mean, they're getting ahead of their classwork and other teachers approved it, so I'm ready to just watch some sparks fly. And with that said, and, like, this whole time she's been kind of out of sight, she steps in and her mask is on now. Who's ready to rumble? And then like the room itself becomes a 300 by 100 wrestling ring. The stands are right outside, and the monitors are set in the 4 corners so the students can watch. And you have effectively Rita and Jareth at the other side of this ring, kind of stretching out and ready, and everyone roll for initiative.
I was wondering why you were. Oh.
That's okay. I got 4.
I got a 17.
Let me grab a piece of stretch paper.
We're gonna sandwich them.
Ran, how upset are you gonna be if I just attack Rita so you can punch Jareth? Because that's technically how the fight would go if you were to actually fight them out.
I'm gonna punch whoever gets closest and whoever threatens first.
Okay.
Let me.
I know
What were your numbers?
Just know
17 and 4?
4. Pretty much as they're walking up, Rin is like, name of the game is protect you.
Thank you. Because if we're supposed to be viewing this how we view it in the world, you would hit things and I would just damage anyone
Okay.
that I couldn't help that way.
I call this 2 stones, 1 bird.
The moment you hear the ding ding of like a wrestling bell, let me make sure I have the only character sheets I need for a moment. Rita, I've got Jareth. Rita, you watch as immediately her hand goes into her bun, and she pulls out this crescent form of coalesced energy. and she just throws it in the air.
Oh, that's ominous.
Very
Exceedingly. And Rita does not have the speed to do a lot of what y'all can do.
So we're 300 feet apart, correct?
Yep.
I can't reach that.
You can pass an acro check to run faster.
I can't run that. Athletics.
And
But I can't run that.
she's going to do that way. That is her action. And the turn order is going to very quickly shift to which of Rin. As
Allie.
Rita.
Allie.
Allie rolled a
I was
17.
like, Ren got
I
a
got
4.
I switched the 17 to the 4, my bad.
So
I'll be like,
unless-
sure, ching.
Unless Duplex has some kind of world-altering power, she's like, I love an underdog.
She's the Pokemon move Trick Room.
Yes.
So people move first. There's a villain who has a similar effect.
Ooh, that's fun.
Messes with initiative.
Love it.
Cool.
Gotta have powers that act on the meta level too.
The coaster's falling apart in my hand.
That's fun.
It's in-world justifiable. So Allie.
Just to do a basic, because I have fake fought enemies with Rin before.
Mhm.
I'm going to get an angle up in the air, trying to watch out for wherever the fuck that crescent went, but I'm
It's
not worried about that
hovering
right now.
straight above them.
That's even more ominous.
That's exceedingly ominous, but I do better in the air one way or the next, because
Mhm.
on paper I get bonuses, and otherwise I'm just
On paper, I get bonuses.
Hey! So, air, and then using Rin as my blood source.
Yep.
I would like to try and blood blast, since Jareth specifically was the person who wanted to fight me. Actually, no, because Rita's currently the threat. I want to try and hit her.
Okay, go for it.
There's my D20.
Blast.
That's above average.
Whoa.
11 plus the 2 from flying gets me up to a 13, plus the 6
Plus that one.
plus that one. So the 2, so that's 11 plus 6 gets me to a 17.
Nice.
17 is going to exceed her dodge.
Awesome. DC 19 to avoid damage, I guess. Is how that one seems to work. That's what I currently have. Okay.
She's going to
Guess
suffer 0 wounds as
Okay.
the blood blast strikes her, and just like she didn't seem ready to get out of the way, but she does throw her hands up in
Mhm.
sort of a defensive stance and just it does not manage to sear into her like Rin's blood normally does. And then we move to Jareth. He's gonna start running.
That's how he spent the first fight.
What a mood.
So he's going to make his check and successfully go 1 speed rank higher this turn.
Ooh, so how close is he now?
This is just gonna be that Ren and Jared.
With the intense music going on.
Superman punch.
He's still 150 or so feet away.
Damn.
Speed rank 2.
His normal speed rank is 1.
Same though. We physically can't reach each other. Not without me using extra effort. And I don't think I want to invest in extra effort right now. What is the DC for that extra speed? 10?
I believe so.
I do it.
Sure thing.
So
We're gonna roll
I
10 'cause that's
also
what I had you
run
roll versus.
120 feet closer.
Yep, so you
as
guys
the
are
both of
both
them
like
are just like
40 feet away from each other, so 60 feet, yeah. 60 feet. And then turn order shifts back up to Rita, who, her lunar ring's gonna go off, and it is going to target you, because you were the closest target. I think that's gonna miss. I have your stat blocks.
14.
Yeah, that is not gonna hit you. But that is not her standard. That is a delayed action from the previous turn because the way her power is built. And then it's going to, like, you watched it hits the ground past you. Like, it went up, and then this low scoop towards you. And you kind of watch it for a second as it continues that scoop into the sky, and it's coming at Allie.
Oh, what a punk!
Allie's dodge is
Not great.
In the air, it's better.
In the air it is. It's
14?
plus 2.
okay. Go ahead and make me a toughness check, as this is going to strike you pretty good.
Oof. 12 plus 3. That's a 15.
15. So you're going to suffer 1 wound
Okay.
as this crescent energy, like, it doesn't ricochet. It never actually touches the ground. It started its parabola up here and just perfect arc between you and Rin, and it like clips you. And this energy, it doesn't hurt so much as it just like moves through your body and like saps your strength. It does do damage, mind you. It's
Mhm.
1 wound. But the flavor is less physical beat 'em up and more exhaustion.
Gotcha. Can you remind me what the 1 wound does to my
On
roll?
One wound just makes it so that more wounds are easier to attain.
Thank you.
Yep. On future toughness checks, you're at a -1
Okay.
until that
Yes.
wound is cleared.
My brain is still not caught up.
Then she's gonna go ahead and take her standard.
What the
I,
fuck?
I usually do a D10.
That was her
for
previous
that,
turn's attack.
so that-
Holy
you're
shit.
gonna
That
have
was
to
her previous
rewrite
turn's
that
attack.
when you
Uh-huh.
get
As
more or
she's
less.
going to move
I'm just
60
doing
feet
battle
in,
marks at the moment.
and she's going to make another one of those. This one thrums for a second in her hand, and she's throwing it at Rin.
Rin is watching this. She's like, shit.
Rin, make a dodge check.
Make a dodge check?
I'm sorry.
I was like, the fear I'm feeling.
Yes. Make a dodge check.
I got a 22.
22 exceeds the DC, the alternate DC of 20 dodge. So this, it explodes next to you,
Oh.
and
Oh.
your instinct is,
AoE. Okay.
is almost right away as it, and you're like ready to dodge it, and then you see it start to shake, and you just,
Oh god! Instead, it's like a power slide underneath it. As Rin is just running full speed, and she's like, well, I can't stop.
and that is properly Rita's turn as we shift back to Allie.
Jesus, she's crazy.
She is. I'm going to attempt an affliction on her.
Sure.
Afflict her. She's attacking Rin now, and so now I care.
Same though.
Ooh, that might have done a thing. 18 plus the 6 gets me up to
That hits.
sweet.
Yeah, 24. That connects with most.
It connects with all.
Oh, fuck. How can I've forgotten how the fuck this shit works? DC 14. Ha. Thank you. She
DC
has to
14
roll
what?
Fortitude save.
She fails by 2 degrees.
that. Sweet. So she is stunned.
Stunned? Got it. She cannot take actions. Wow.
The spot that like she protected and the blood just like covered her arm. From there, it just pulls away, and then her own comes with it.
Ew, gross. And she's just like,
I'm sorry.
and Jareth is like, stop being sorry.
Rin also calls out, like, don't be.
Yeah, you call it don't be sorry, but Jareth is a lot more heated. It's don't be sorry. And then or stop being sorry specifically. And then he's going to meet you, Rin,
Hi.
and he's
Your
gonna
turn
come
is
in
mine.
for a strike.
14.
No.
Again, I like to imagine that he's coming in to like immediately follow up this crescent, but Rin does this really like strong
Sick
power
slide
slide,
under it, for
just
sure.
sick underneath them, just like peace.
And then it is Rin's turn.
So then she's going to leap up on the other side and then leap up on the other side as she basically twists herself and just throws herself at Rita.
Ooh. Who's stunned? Stunned just says cannot take actions, does not say any defensive.
Correct.
penalties.
No defensive penalties happen, but I'm still gonna power attack. I'm gonna power attack at a penalty of -3.
That's
Okay.
a Rin.
That's
So
a-
she's just swinging in like.
Ooh.
That's an 11 to hit.
Oh.
11 does not exceed her parry, even though she's stunned. Like, you come in and she's stunned, but her instincts are enough to just kind of bat you away. It's just a very subtle shift as
And
you're
then,
coming in.
just for pure anime flavor, as
Yeah.
Rin's fist just collides with the ground, impact mark.
Not only an impact mark, but in the shape of a crescent. As she deflected your fist in a perfect parabola.
She's so cool.
And then turn order shifts back from Rin to Rita, who's stunned for this turn.
Yes. And then she makes a fortitude save to reduce that.
She succeeds.
So now she is down to stage
Dazed.
1. Yeah, so now she's just dazed.
Okay.
Also,
But that'll be her
one
next
standard
turn.
action.
Next action, she's dazed.
Next action, she's dazed.
Okay. One standard versus no action at all.
Correct.
Cool. Allie, you're up.
Nice.
Yeah. It's
When
the first
Allie
time
hits,
it's the
Allie-
first time we've seen it hit
Yeah.
to that degree immediately.
It works when it hits something.
Most things do.
He's still there. I just wanted to attack midnight.
Doing his boot.
Yeah, he's doing his move.
Okay, so I've got her. I know Jareth is about to turn around and go after Rin, so this is the whole point. This is what I wanted to try to do, so fine, I'll do an affliction on him.
Okay.
This is what he wanted to test, so that was a roll. 11 plus 6 only gets me to a 17.
17 hits his dodge.
Okay, DC 14.
Forward save.
He succeeds on that.
Okay.
He just resists the blood coming out of his body.
Yep.
It's like, I
Right.
did it!
But it is you.
Wow, this hurt!
This time it is more you don't like you know the difference between you being able to pull it out and you not, and this is just you not being able to pull it out. This is not him actively stopping it. This is just you didn't get the grip you needed. And then it's gonna shift to him, and he's gonna turn around, chase after her, and he's like, "Leave her alone."
No. She
That was
challenged
the
me.
fight.
Yep. Because his idea was, I need something to protect me from the people I can't reach. He didn't say, I need to reach them. And he's going to come in with, he may have been studying as he comes in with an axe kick.
That's in my playbook.
Yeah.
14.
14. That is going to hit. Make me a toughness check.
That is a 17 to resist.
Suffer 1 wound.
As it just...
Dang.
He lands that on you. And he's just like, I'm not done. He is done, though.
I was like, what
Yes,
does he
you
mean
are.
he's not done?
It is your action.
So Rita actually hasn't hit Rin yet. She's doing some cool, fancy shit, but Jareth is literally kicking her in the head. So at this point, Rin, after the deflection, and she just got axe kicked, is just going to throw the elbow straight at him.
Yep.
I'm not going to put any modifiers on this one, just flat.
Yep.
Just hit him.
That's a
That's a hit.
critical hit. So I would like to inflict vulnerable, if I
Okay.
can.
So he's got to make
As
a
he throws in
separate
that
DC
axe
against
kick.
vulnerable.
And just does not realize that Rin is here to fucking fight. And then the damage DC is 21.
He succeeds on the damage DC
Wow.
and succeeds on the alternate effect.
Wow.
As you land the strike, and it's not that he doesn't take it, but it's like right as it should hit him, just for flavor. There's this impossible barrier right in front of his skin.
Repel.
So if you choose an alternate effect,
It has a
crit-
DC of 10.
Oh, that's it for an alternate effect.
You can
Off
choose.
off of crit.
Yeah.
So you can either take an automatic success.
It is an automatic success. So the 3 things on a crit, you can up the rank by 5 to make the DC 5 harder. You can add a status effect with a resistance DC of 10, or you can choose an alternate effect without using extra effort. So something like an array.
Okay. Okay.
So my
I'm-
critical, it
the-
hit him. I made contact, but I did not do damage, and we're flavoring not doing damage as hitting a barrier.
Okay. Though I'm trying to key into the crit thing.
Mhm.
Isn't normal crit, isn't the wording that you take whatever the success is and increase it by 1? That's
So-
not the same thing as doing a +5. Because if you crit and increase it by 1, you're guaranteed.
That's
to
for
have at
anything
least
that's
one.
not an attack. Like if I crit a skill check, I would move up to the next level of success. But for an attack specifically, you get to choose a couple of things. One of them is move to the next level of success,
Okay.
which I did not pick this time.
Okay, I'm just clarifying that is you can guarantee at least one level of success
Yes.
if you crit.
It doesn't guarantee it, it just makes it much harder because it increases the damage threshold by 5, which is essentially a degree of success.
Yeah.
Okay. But it's different wording on skill checks.
Mhm.
Yes, skill checks are just flat out, if you crit, you get the next level of
Correct.
success that you would have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rin, and the only reason I know those is because Rin crits a lot.
Yep. And it's going to
20%
start,
of the time,
and it's
to
going
be
to start
exact.
critting more. Yeah. Yeah. And so that happens, and you.
In fact, it doesn't.
It's this barrier, and you know this strike absolutely should have floored him, and it just doesn't. He doesn't have the strength to repel or anything, but it's like you just can't get through it. And after Rin, we move to Rita,
Oh,
who's
excellent.
dazed. She's gonna make her save. She's gonna fail her save, so she's still
gonna
dazed.
stay dazed.
But her one action, she just generates one of those crescents
Oh, hi.
and just holds it in front of her and covers her eyes.
Oh, no.
Oh dear.
Is he gonna hit Jareth?
Yeah.
Fine.
I need you and Jared. They're both making dodge
Ren will
checks.
recover.
I got a 6.
Okay, so that's
I'm too worried about like
3
oh,
degrees
repel.
of failure.
I have a foot in my skull.
3 degrees of failure. Where'd it go? Ring.
Oh dear.
A foot straight to the cranium.
You are stunned. As it's like it's just such a and 2 degrees of failure for Jareth, who is also stunned. And then then make a second dodge check. This is specifically for the damage of the effect.
Oh, okay. I was like, can I if I'm stunned?
there's-
Oh, I'm stunned.
oh.
There's the damage of the explosion, and then the dodge check for the affliction is higher because it's sensor.
Well, that was only a 9.
It's can you shut your eyes fast enough? 9.
9 doesn't do it.
Make a toughness check.
I'm making so many rolls. That one's a natural 1, which
You-
totals out to 5.
5. Natural 1 always okay. and
How unconscious.
17.
Remarkably, is my guess.
2,
Rin's
3.
frontal lobe is just blown up.
I'm pretty sure that's 4.
Oh, so Rin's down.
Mm-hmm.
Because 17 is the DC, and then 3 degrees of 5 gets you to 2. You rolled a nat 1.
I rolled a natural 1. So I effectively rolled a 0.
Yeah, so yeah, you just conk out as Rita point blank pulls out this exploding crescent.
Jareth's foot is holding my face against it, basically, as I'm
Yeah.
like, what?
And Jareth is stunned in the byproduct, but does not take any wounds. And the turn order shifts to Allie.
You can still easily win this by just taking Rita out. Because
I was
Jareth
gonna-
can't do anything.
Who do you think I'm going to try to hit? We're going to go for affliction again.
Afflict her with losing.
Oh, that did. I want to try and reroll that.
Ooh!
Afflict her with losing.
I love it.
Oh.
Worse.
What's total?
Um.
On a hero point, you always take the higher of the two. You rolled.
What were the totals like?
4 and 6 gets
10?
10.
the 10. Air gets me like 12.
12 is unfortunately not going to be enough.
Yeah.
As that is going to be you, and I assume your movement is just, I'm in the air.
A little bit. Yeah,
I'm
I
not going down.
Jareth
Yeah.
loses his turn, and this does not have quick recovery, so he's still stunned.
What a punk.
And then we move from Jareth to Rita, who,
Does Rin get a turn?
Rin is unconscious right now.
Does Rin get a turn?
Yes.
As essentially her skull just begins to... As she's getting up soon.
Yeah.
They can definitely see it in her. As her body is like, it's almost seizing. As she's definitely against the ground, like spasming slightly, but now it's like a...
And just imagine, if you will, for this entire thing, you also have Duplex like wrestling commentating the whole fight.
Oh my god, she's doing a countdown!
Yeah.
1, 2...
Looks like we've got some life coming back.
And then I would roll what to get rid of the stun?
You are making another fortitude save.
That one does it. That one was a grand total of 21.
Yep. So you are no longer stunned.
But I am still very much so unconscious for 2 more rounds.
Yep.
But only 2.
Yep.
My God, what an explosion!
Yep. And then we do move to Rita, who's gonna roll for dazed. She is still dazed.
Good.
So for her one action,
What a punk.
she's gonna grab her in. She's gonna throw her in at you.
As Sarah,
incredible.
I recognize the hilarity. As Allie, I'm
She
horrified.
just picks Rin up, moves in one circle, and just, and you see your friend. She misses you, and then comes back on the flip side.
Rin boomerang.
What the actual?
Boomerang.
And that's gonna hit. So I need you to make a toughness check.
Against your friend.
That was a corner. There it is.
Slightly better. For toughness, because I have a wound, that gets me to 17 for the toughness check.
Yeah, you'll take 0 wounds from this. She doesn't have a lot of damage in her improvised weapons.
It's
It's more the
couple little
morale.
Hand slaps.
Mm-hmm.
As Rin's
It's
like,
more the morale. But
Can I flavor it as like it's a catch, and then I mean like I'm up in the air, so it's not gentle, but it's like you drop a cat. Because I know Rin will recover. But
So
can I
Rin
have,
will
like, caught her
recover,
and dropped her back?
but Rin, you're gonna take another wound as you get.
do I roll another toughness check or do I not because I'm unconscious?
You can make the toughness check. You're at 3 wounds currently, so make a toughness check, and you're falling from Allie. Let's say you were 60 in the skies.
Sure, that sounds like probably where she'd be in a ring that size.
So it's not an impossible toughness check.
What's that check?
Well, if this is a dropped object from a height,
Yes.
it is 4 plus the distance rank fall.
So DC 20.
DC 20?
Oof.
That's 2 degrees of failure. So another wound and I'm dazed.
No.
But, well, will that... No, I'm sorry, no. Do your thing. I'm trying to...
The
The
wounds are
wound is going to
cumulative.
make me get up more slowly.
Yeah.
We haven't done this part of the practicing before. This didn't come up in
Nope.
training.
Very
As-
rarely
as-
do I get thrown.
Yeah. As Rita calls out, you should have just let her come back. And turn order's gonna shift back to Allie.
Try for an affliction. Ugh. Oh, it's better than the last one.
Way better.
9 and 6 gives me 15. I'm in the air. I will double check these numbers during the level up because I don't know if
I
I've
just
been
dropped
adding
my
any way,
D20.
shape, or form all the way.
Nancy? Okay, so you're
Well,
doing
because
the
I
plus
don't
one,
forget
yes?
what the fucking +6 was.
So the +6 is when you're in the air, this turns into a 6.
Cool. Then that's a 15.
15 is going to hit.
Cool. DC 14 on that.
That's fort save.
DC 14 fort.
Mm-hmm.
She fails by 2 degrees.
So she's stunned.
Well, if she was already dazed,
Oh yeah, yours accumulates.
it's a cumulative, so she's incapacitated. I
You just
Defenseless, stunned, and unaware. Usually prone. As you like rip
I'm
the-
not giving her back to you. And then just straight out of her.
And that happens.
Like the hand that exploded, I imagine there's some kind of scarring. It's just straight out of that.
And that happens. She conks out, and Jareth comes to a sense. He's like, "God damn it!" And he's gonna start running towards
Right
you.
underneath me keeps jumping up.
And like you watch as he really has no idea how to get to you, but he's running towards you.
Mm-hmm.
Should've let
Cool.
Rita-
I'm not gonna
should've-
go down.
Should've let Rita throw him.
That was gonna be the next turn. Was
How he ran
throw
away.
me. Well, Rita is currently out,
Out.
and then we move to Rin.
That's Ren's turn.
Yep, and then we move to Rita.
Who's
What's the DC?
14.
14.
Nope. And then we move to Allie as Jareth is running at you. He still can't get to you.
I'm gonna go for a blast because I have a ball of blood in my hand.
Gross. I love it.
It's disgusting, but here we go.
Ooh.
16 plus a 6 gets me to
22?
22.
So he's gonna hit. What's his toughness check?
DC 19.
DC 19. He's gonna suffer 1 wound.
Cool.
As it just strikes.
It
him
just
square in the
shapes
head.
into a kanji of Rin's name. It's literally Rin's name, and I just fling it at him.
And it,
Solidly in his
It
chest.
definitely strikes it. Like his hands go up to block as he's running forward. Just that second of like hurtling through a blood kanji, but it like definitely cuts across his face and marks his face with his own blood. And he's gonna keep running. He's gonna keep running because that's
I'm
all
going
he can
to
do.
lower by to about, we'll say 30 feet,
Okay.
over Rin.
Ooh,
To
Mama
protect.
Bird.
She protect.
Oh
she
no!
attack.
And he runs over to Rin and pulls his fist up,
Oh hey, what's up? What's good?
and he's gonna hold it right there.
Oh dear.
'Cause that's what he can do.
I'm feeling some feelings.
And then it goes to Rin.
Those wounds are healing again. Again, Rin is moving. She's just still unconscious.
She's like,
she's like,
and then it goes to Rita, who is going to succeed by 1 degree. So,
so she moves
Stunned.
2 stunned.
so she's like, she gets up.
Minus 1 pint of bladders.
As we go from Rita to Allie.
Oh, it's over there still. We're fine. Affliction seems to be working really well so far.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what we are going to do, but I see him threatening Rin, and I'm going to do the stupid and just land over her and cast Affliction there. I still want to use, I'm not going to touch him because I still want to use my range stats.
Yeah, for sure.
Ugh. 6 and 6 gets me to a 12.
12 does not hit his dodge. And it goes to his turn as he's like about to make this strike, and he sees you, and this is just me flavoring his change of attack target, as he creates this magnetic barrier right in front of Rin to redirect into a back fist towards you.
Uh-huh.
Your dodge is a 3.
Yep.
So
I'm not.
So,
It's just 13.
13.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to get clocked, but don't touch Rin.
he does not hit you.
Jareth, come on!
And he just but there's something that you did not expect is as he sees you, his eyes kind of like strain up, and his focus on Rin is lost as this comes wide in a subtle rage that you haven't seen in him before.
Okay.
And then turn order shifts to Rin.
This is why we study
Rin's turn is
martial
over.
arts and not just use weird force
This
fields.
is
Next
Rin.
turn, though. Next turn.
This is Rin we shift to from Rin to Rita.
How's she doing?
She's no longer stunned. She's dazed.
Okay.
Like she's still dripping blood.
Uh-huh.
It happens.
And then we shift to Rin, right?
No.
Rita to Allie.
I was like, God, I wish it was Rin next.
She...
Rin's gonna have a great awakening.
And I know she's going to stand up, so whoever I position myself over her, I've given her room to leap up.
For
'cause I
sure.
know she's going
For
to be
sure.
up in a second.
Yeah, you know.
We're just going to go for Affliction again, because it works, and this is what he that hit. I rolled a 17.
That's a 22.
That's a 22.
23, I'm sorry.
23 hits.
Cool. That's a DC 14 from him.
He's gonna succeed.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty heavy. And then it's gonna go to his turn. And this is probably the climactic turn of it all. It's like he shifts it's kind of a flurry. It is the most martial prowess we've seen from him, because it's not just punches this time. It's like his left leg comes up with supernatural speed. Like, if he's standing over Rin, you watch as this pop of magnetic force flings this into the air, and then another one here to pivot him as he comes down with, again, Rin's signature axe kick.
What a
but with
punk.
the back heel.
Dang.
And he's making a multi-attack.
Ooh.
But he's not gonna...
This is what happens when you don't come to Fight Club.
It's because it's Rin's signature move. I've seen it done. I know how to get out of the
My
way
turn
of
is
this
next.
one.
Can I actually flavor what's happening?
Sure.
As he leaps in the air, Rin's eyes, they... And, like, it's almost like the air is palpable with a sort of blood rage as she is going to just kind of, like, yoga pose, balance herself on her shoulders, rabbit kick the shit out of this boy who's now in the air.
Yeah. And you watch as this foot narrowly, deftly misses Allie's face.
But I only get a 12 to hit.
Nope.
As just, again, against that barrier, but it's enough to get him away from her.
Well, this time it's not even a barrier. It's just the body's in motion. It's almost like you have that anime kick off of each other's feet.
Dang.
As my shoulders just press further into the ground.
And then we move to Rita. No.
Question about, I'm assuming Rin was prone?
Yeah.
You can use a move action to stand. And then you don't take a penalty on your attacks and don't give other people a benefit to attacking you on the ground.
I'm gonna get the fuck up.
Yep. You stayed up.
I kip up after launching my own shoulders into the ground.
Yeah.
Just
I'm down with it. And then we do shift to Rita, who is... What's the DC?
14.
She's still dazed. But she's going to take her one dazed action, and she's just going to throw a wild crescent. As Rin just got back up.
I've been awake for 3 seconds.
It's going to miss both of you. As the alternative she has multi-attack on a ranged attack, yeah. She can, which is why her Lunarang is spooky.
That's why I was able to do that in her delayed turn.
Yep.
Because she's cool.
Lunarang.
Yeah, she has Lunarangs.
I love her.
And then from her it goes to Allie. As Duplex is going wild with these near misses and this up and down that's happening with the two opposite sides of the fight.
I'm gonna go launch. You're up. She's up now. I'm gonna launch myself back 60 feet up. And it's working so far, more or less. I'm just gonna try to afflict Rita again and put her back down. Stop hitting people. 13 plus 6 gets me to a 19.
That's a hit.
Cool, DC 14.
She fails by 1 degree.
So she's back
And
to
goes from
stun.
dazed to stunned.
Stay
As you just
down.
keep ripping blood from her. Then it moves to Jareth.
No, it's leave Rin alone.
Jareth's gonna be like, I'm fucking tired.
Sounds like a you problem.
Nah, it just means I need to end this now. And like, because you're both up, and he's just... How do I want to flavor this? Well, I know what he's gonna try and do. And you watch as he goes for like this quick punch in here. And instead of trying to like feint you or anything, he creates that magnetic burst behind it as you're judging the speed of the hit coming in to try and like 1-inch punch you.
Cute.
It's 13.
That hits.
Oh.
Make a toughness check.
A toughness check. 15.
Suffer 1 wound as he
Just
as
got
this
up.
glancing blow on your cheekbone, which you feel just searing away from the force of the blow.
Just gritting her fucking teeth. And then, unless he moves, that moves it to my turn.
Yep.
Which Rin is actually going to use. She grabs his arm not offensively as she sets her feet on his chest and just says, thanks. And I extra effort my way to Rita.
Yeah.
And it only takes, I think, 1 burst of extra effort to get me that far.
Mhm.
Yes, so I'm only going to be fatigued. But basically, I launch myself at Rita, and with my extraordinary effort, I'm going to make 2 attacks against this bitch.
Yeah, because you have extraordinary effort. Every
I
time you extra
do
effort, you go
indeed.
hard.
I can go hard.
Yeah.
I don't have to. But I just launch at her, and I'm like, time to go down. Ah! That's a 19 to hit, though.
That's going to be 1 hit at
And
least.
then my second one, I'm power attacking at -5 because I want her to die. Not die, but like
You wanna take
be
her out, yeah.
unconscious. And that one's a 4 to hit.
4, whoa.
So she's making 1 DC 21.
Oof.
She nat 20'd.
Damn her!
As you come in, and what's this first hit look like?
So essentially, Rin, she frog leaps herself across the whole place, and it's just a
Just wildly flurry of punches. So
yeah.
the first one, this one is going to catch. She grabs your wrist, puts her feet under your body, and you two roll into the air. A quick little parabola. And you're both like on the ground, apart from each other. She has to make a save. She is dazed. She was stunned. Stunned does not say cannot defend. It says cannot take actions. So she's dazed, and she's like, living up to the family name.
Rin, completely unaware of what's happening, as she's like,
And she just grabs from her hair. Her hair falls from a bun down into like a mess as she grabs this crescent and just holds it in your face. Okay. Fuck. Please make me a dodge check. 2 of them. First one DC 20, second one DC 17.
So impaired applies to checks, so I'll be taking a -2 to both of these. The first one is a 18.
Okay, 1 degree failure.
And the second one is a 5.
Okay, now for the damage, you need a toughness check. Yeah, complex abilities.
And that one is a 19.
Okay, so no damage, and you are simply vulnerable. She is likewise vulnerable. And she did it
Defense is
point
cut
blank.
in half.
Yep.
And that means she's at 3.
Yep.
That means she's dodge 6.
Yep.
She's in that zone.
She's in that zone. She's much better to dodge than Perry. And from Rita, we go to Allie.
How
I don't know where
does
Perry was.
Jareth look at the moment?
Jareth is like, he like saw Rin dart across. He glances up at you, and like you can see every part of his body wants to go for you, and he can't. So his attention darts back to Rin.
Good luck catching me, asshole.
Then I'm going to attack Jareth again with an affliction. Quickly finding my favorite.
It's good.
It's
You do real good.
I rolled a 19.
It's a 25.
That's a hit.
Cool. DC 14.
He failed by 1 degree.
Dazed.
He can choose to either move or do anything.
Oh, that poor boy.
They get free actions and 1 standard.
Yep. And his action is gonna be to run towards Rin, because that's all he can do. His level up is gonna feel good. His
Good.
level up will feel
Is he
great.
figuring out his movement?
Yep, that's what this battle is for
Good.
him, is recognizing his movement flaws.
Fucking good.
As he starts running, like,
With bloody nose.
bleeding from the nose and like a gash over one eye covering his vision. He's like, Rin!
I'm gonna move to headbutt Rita. I'm just gonna...
She's vulnerable, so you've got a good chance of this.
That's a critical hit.
Yeah, what
So
do you
I'm
want
just gonna
effect
up
to
the DC by 5, so it's a 26.
be? Yeah, she fails by 4 degrees.
There we go.
So she
Down.
basically just... Rita does that, Rin's eyes are fucking flashing, she's just, fuck you.
You got a chance to show what you can do.
Two fronts over there, and let's watch the language in the ring.
Like, as the fuck would be heard, she's like, ooh! Mighty blow from Rin Himura on
And then
the lovely Rita.
Rin just turns towards Jerry. Now she starts running.
It's Jareth.
And do I make a save against the vulnerable?
No, that lasts a round.
Okay, that's just chilling then.
Yeah, the vulnerable's gone. Yeah. And it's gonna go to Jareth. He sees you coming.
I'm not
Like-
running very fast.
He's like,
You are.
you know, I already know what I need to work on, so. He runs towards you. And this is very straightforward. He's just gonna go for just a haymaker swing. He's like, this is the last thing I got.
I was like, he might do it.
He hits.
Okay.
Make a toughness check.
That's a natural 1.
For 4 wounds because it's a nat 1. He's like, oh, what? Like, your face sticks to his fist for a second. And he's like, he points at you.
And then since his turn just ended.
Yep.
Immediately she hits the ground and just immediately steam begins rising as she shifts.
Allie. this fight is over. So
These guys have done a good job of keeping wounds on me.
yeah,
I will give them that.
yeah,
I've got enough blood stirred up. I'm gonna go for a blast.
yep.
8 and 6.
14 hits, but he nat 20'd his toughness.
Okay, so he's. It just.
As he just
It's
brushes
just like.
it off.
It just like drops on him.
Yeah, and
it's
here's the
just
thing. I have made it a
sinking.
rule that while I'm playing these characters, they don't get to hero point. And you, like, he is going to go for an extra effort here, though.
Okay.
His only extra effort is he's going to try and alternate effect his attack. As he's going to, like, exert it, run as close to you as he can, get about under you, because you were under Rin, him and Rin met, so
There's
yes.
a lot of movement that's happening.
There's a lot of
Yes.
movement.
As he's
I'm
going to
over.
reach out, and you flinch for a second, his fist looks like it comes towards you. As you open your eyes, it's an open palm, and he just pulls.
Nice.
He misses.
It's
On
the
his
first time
range
he's done
attack.
it.
And now he's
Yeah.
fatigued, which
On his
means he's
range
at
attack.
half speed.
Yep, on his ranged attack, he reaches out and rolls a 9. And he looks at his hand, like, happy.
And Allie like flinches, expecting something to happen, and then it's one of those.
You
"Oh,
feel,
okay,
you
okay."
feel suction, like, because you're in the air and flying, you, for a second, you're, like, one of your wings is
Yep.
caught a little off balance, as the air behind it is magnetized and pulled in his direction. And it's Rin's turn, and then it's...
Rin is halfway to getting up.
And
She's
then
like,
the next turn that matters is going to be Allie.
Just put the poor boy down.
Yeah, like I'm trying.
we're
over
doing
here.
our best.
We're doing our best. Actually, I'm gonna try for a weakened stamina because I just want him to like stop.
I just want him to not.
I want him to feel bad if to just sit down and be like, I did what I could. Oh, that didn't work.
Ooh, no,
I
that's
rolled a 4. That's not gonna hit.
He's fatigued. Extra effort.
to the exhaustion.
Yeah, he's going to go to the exhaustion.
I respect him.
As this time, like, his hand came out, this time he's going to put both towards you. And it's like he's grabbing, like, you know when you see something far away and you do this?
Mm-hmm.
It's like he grabs your wings. And he's going to try an extra effort to pull you in again. And that's a nat 20.
Ooh!
So the alternate effect on this is move object.
All right.
So he
Yes,
pulls you right in
Jared.
front of him. But that's his turn.
And then you see as you're yanked in from behind, just that red glare of Rin's eyes. She's like, and then she throws herself just fully
There's the
to
moment of-
basically just grab him and.
But there's
Yeah.
that moment of rage and complete fear in shock and fear in Allie's face because it's never happened. She never expected it to happen. And then flying Rin comes in
Just kidding.
That's a critical hit.
with a crit.
Yeah, he's out.
Rin just grabs
Yeah,
him
he's
and is
out.
like, not the bird.
I'm a bat.
Ding, 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 ding. And like Duplex starts, commentating the end of the match, and that ends Class 1A's debut bout in front of Class 1B.
Candy bar.
Little bit of research for everyone. Watch out for these
That's a
competitors.
finger, that's a finger.
Jareth may not have everything down yet, but that boy's got a hell of a lot of creativity and spunk. Look out for the flashing crimson streak that is Rin Himura bouncing around the battlefield like a goddamn ping pong ball, except it's made of bullets.
I was very worried about that.
Allie
commentary for a second.
adding to that crimson duo. This
Not
bloody...
crimson.
She doesn't notice. This bloody, brilliant, blah, 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 etc., etc.,
Hides
etc.
behind her wings. Just gonna
People are
focus
cheering,
on
people are
Rin.
cheering, blah, yada,
Let's
yada,
go get
yada,
you
yada.
lunch.
Rin
And you get a video sent to you.
grabs you by the back of the shirt
Uh-huh.
and hoists you up like a trophy. Rin just.
And then
Sure.
you...
Wings out. Just all the decorations on display.
And then she sets you down very gently, walks over to Jareth, picks him up,
Uh-huh.
walks over to Rita.
Well, as you go to
picks
pick,
her
as
up.
you go to pick him up, like, as you go to pick him up, you hear from the other, like, Rita in her corner just,
I'm gonna go over and assist her.
as she is brought back by Panacea.
Oh.
Panacea comes over to you and she's like, "This is gonna hurt the poor boy.
Uh-huh.
Luckily, he's asleep."
No.
And you hear him go, "Not anymore!"
Rin's just like, sorry.
And he's like, "Okay."
Come
And he definitely, like, there's that strain. His eyes look strained, and you
Uh-huh.
recognize that once his eyes were on you, he didn't blink for the rest of the fight.
Huh.
But, like, he blinks once or twice, rubs his eyes, looks up.
That was kind of an incredible move at the end.
It wasn't what I wanted, but I get very tunnel vision.
You literally ripped me out of the air. That was kind of incredible.
How far away were you?
60 feet.
Cool.
I like that she has the number in her head. She's like, I was 60 feet from
Yeah.
you, bitch.
And
Part of my hearing, bitch.
he's like, I'll work on something to get to you next time. Thank you. Whatever you saw was just my tunnel vision. You're a sweet person, and I have nothing against you. Likewise, any hard feelings are left behind.
Decimation comes with the name.
Yeah.
Is that the new hero name you're trying out?
No, I'm just trying to find a catchphrase, and it's not working.
So I'm gonna go back.
Uh-huh.
But Rita comes up and she's like, "Hey, Rin,
Hey, Rita.
can we talk?"
Definitely.
So
Rin bleeding out of her fucking face. Just give it a minute.
and she's like, "Hold on."
Oh no.
As she touches you, and you feel all of Jareth's strikes.
None of Jareth's strikes are hurting her.
There was one.
No, she's over that one. At this point, it's just all of her own blown up muscles.
Yep.
As they come back, she's like, oh. I took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I
7
took
wounds.
a single hit.
No, I took
from
7
Rita.
hits.
Oh, more than that. in
Some
wounds.
number of wounds happen. Sometimes I just went unconscious.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
As Rita's like, we I don't know if you heard what I said there at the end.
No.
Said you're living up to the family name.
What family name? My mom's a chef.
Yeah, I know.
I guess you can say I smoked that battle. Oh, I'm
Sure.
so
Your
hungry.
mother's a pastry chef.
I know.
So, Rin,
What's that?
Kimura Johnson,
Who?
you.
What?
Canonically, that's your name, right? Out of character, that is your name.
I'm curious what the Johnson's about.
Out of character, that is your name that you gave me.
Rita Johnson?
Yeah.
You called me Rin Hamura Johnson.
Oh.
Rin is 100% like, I don't know what you mean.
She's proposing.
No, as I know why I got that
She's a
confused.
little
As Rita
dazed.
goes, Rita Kimura Johnson.
Slight crushing. Just, what do you mean, Hamura?
That hurts. We have the same bastard for a father. Luckily,
What do you mean, same bastard for a father?
you know who I mean. Yeah. I thought I should finally introduce myself properly.
How do you know?
How do I know what?
That he's your dad.
Same.
He's married.
And? Has that stopped him? You're not the first sibling I've met.
The first I've met.
Yeah. Well, I mean, guess he breeds good. Rin, you're hurting your friend.
And then the muscles on this arm are
Yep.
kind of like,
Yep.
Little tendons pinging off.
Yeah.
well, I've never had a sibling before.
I'm not saying we have to be siblings. I just thought,
We kind of have to be.
no. That doesn't change any of who we have been and are. I just thought that we could bond over a mutual hatred.
Does he pay child support to you too?
No.
Let's get food. On me.
Yeah.
On
Him.
I'll let you two go talk.
And that's gonna end this little scene.
Uh-huh.
As that is the one piece of information that I wanted to get through this session was
That's...
Rita Himura Johnson.
Oof.
She is your step sibling.
No, half
Half
sibling.
sibling. Yeah, not step. She's your half sibling.
I just headbutted my half sister.
Yeah.
Into oblivion.
Yeah.
Happens.
Yeah.
Helped by your hemomancer friend.
I mean, everyone got good hits on everyone that fight except for Jareth. who did some.
tried.
He tried real hard.
he
really did.
ripped someone out of the sky, and I honestly think that's really awesome.
I do too.
That's super freaking cool.
Yep.
And he took some punches.
Oh yeah.
Jareth took some
Yeah,
hits.
he rolled really well on his toughness checks because
Rita and I did not.
And then we're going to shift back to the other side of the table because we've been here for a second.
Rin Himura Johnson. What?
I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, that's
no,
your
you're
name,
Rin Himura.
is it?
It's Rita Himura Johnson, and
Oh my god, does he name all of his kids with an R-I?
In which
Ramona.
that's why there are so many R's in the class. They're all his kids.
Robin is your like quarter sister.
I don't even know if that's possible.
I don't either. Future man.
There's a reason she's the only super in her family.
God damn.
Different dad. No.
Well, let's move to that half of the table. I'm feeling some feelings.
Yep. I wanted to set that up. I wasn't sure when, but I finally found the point. I was like, nah, Rita hasn't really had a lot of opportunity to do stuff, so I get to show off cool stuff and introduce some conflict.
Woo!
As Rin's complications say, siblings.
Hero point. Hero point. Hero point.
They haven't proved a hindrance yet.
She has half siblings, so
It's
yeah.
not a complication yet.
See, I wish the way I'd revealed it was living up to the family name, and I gave you a hero point and let you figure that out.
Oh shit.
Right?
The only problem is I just gave you that new complication
Yeah.
where I would have been like, this could mean a lot of things.
Yeah. Yeah. You've been studying and have your charts pretty assessed. You finish up the soup kitchen and you watch the video a couple times, analyzing your classmates.
Text all of the fighters individually. Hey, how's the fight?
You get that from Rin. Jareth's like, I know what I need to work on. Rita's like, fun. First time I really got to actually go toe to toe with Rin. Looking forward to the next.
Face to face.
No.
Allie's only comment is, Jareth was able to rip me out of the sky, and that was really cool on his part. She says nothing about what she did.
And so, as you're all sort of wrapping up, was there any nighttime activity from the two of you? Because otherwise, I've got something going on tonight. I just want to see if there's anything else you guys had come up with or wanted to do while that was going on.
No.
Okay. And I will try not to.
Over there.
I didn't think it was gonna happen so soon.
Of course it is.
I thought it was gonna be when we met another school, one of them would be like, you, and I'd be like, you, and then bam, sibling shit would happen. But in my own classroom.
Of course.
You're
Damn.
elites.
Yeah.
He does breed well.
I hated making that comment, but
Oh,
so did she.
Damn. They would bond with that over fucking whatever they're
Oh
eating.
yeah, whatever they're eating, they hate their dad.
Oh, God.
As Rita talks about how basically she grew up without a father and her mother bore the stress. And
It was like, same though.
and Rita's like, I actually have no idea where my power comes from because it's not your dad and it's not my mom.
What?
And she's like, yeah. She goes off and she's like talking about like how like her mom was the subject of a couple science tests and like pharmaceutical trials for a while, but like none of the powers that her mom has manifested, powers plural, have ever been passed on to her, and hers is completely new. It's a mutation. Blah 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 blah. But mostly you bond over the hatred of dad. And Rita's like, I really wish I got those stupid strong bones, because I sure didn't.
Rin is going to hand her one of the punch letters and is like, I've been eating them thus far. You may eat this one.
He's like, I have a better idea. And folds it into like a little crescent. And she's like, where do you want this to go?
The moon.
Can't quite throw that far.
The ocean. I don't anywhere
Sure.
that will get rid of it.
Sure. And because her targeting cares about the final target, she can throw pretty ridiculously in most directions.
Especially something that light.
She does have a range, but yeah. But she did throw you, so
Uh-huh.
there are some differences.
You still there watching the video? Huh.
No, 100% she's like, oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah.
That was me.
Yeah. Yeah, just have to get something off the ground.
Okay.
Yeah.
We
And
can use that.
you watch as she just flicks it one way and it just rockets out to the lake surrounding the city. Yeah. Fucking. And so at night, Ramona actually shoots out another text to everyone. Hey guys, I think it'd be really cool, and then Rex is in this one, if we could all like maybe, I don't know, like do a movie night together. It was suggested by Robin, and I think that'd be really cool. That like Robin had a good idea for us all to bond together, and I think that we could use it. So like library,
A library movie day?
because there's no common space in the dorm rooms where all genders can meet.
That makes sense.
Sure.
Let's go. Flexing emojis.
Yeah.
Allie would show up with, like, some kind of Japanese sweet that Rin's mother would have taught her to make. She would have been like wherever the heck it is that cooking club has their setup. After the fight, she went down there to make Rin's favorite dessert as much as Rin can taste things.
Cute.
And left behind money to pay for whatever it was she took to bring for Rin. And now everyone.
Yeah, I've just been looking at Himura Johnson in my notes for so long that I was like, Rin Himura Johnson. Wait, no, that's Rita.
you said that, and then you were like, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, no. I'm very confused.
And I was like, why is this confusing? Johnson. All right.
I was like, the Johnson's the part that's confusing me.
Right. I have the wrong character's last
I
name.
have a different mom. A new complication.
You have a different mom.
My dad's a bastard and my mom's an unknown.
Dang.
And see, that happened. That. And so everyone gathers, and Ramona's actually there. She's got the VHS set up, and she's got her mask down. Yeah, she's got her mask down, and she's like there's just like the TV's on and playing like some news broadcast, but she's like, so, it's been a hectic week for everyone. A hectic few weeks, really. Ever since we started, people have been looking at us and chasing us and threatening us, and believe me, as she glows brilliantly, I know how uncomfortable that can be. Rumors spread, and everyone in this room has been attacked off campus at least once. And even if nobody's supposed to know, it got around. And I think we've all done a good job of not sharing that information, but I do mean everyone. And for the first moment, like, this settles in. You guys aren't the only ones who were attacked off campus, just everyone else has been quiet about theirs. And the rumors just haven't gotten to you. I'm positive we're being targeted for some reason, but that doesn't mean it shouldn't mean living in fear. So I have a horror movie tonight so we can overcome fear. But I also don't think we should blame the school either, because I think they're doing everything in their power to protect us, and maybe some villains have gotten through, but we don't get to see the ones that don't. And besides, heroes aren't allowed to break laws, and villains can, and that gives them an unfair advantage, unless, what Isaac said, we don't take our advantage away. Our advantage is we stay together. And I know the next lesson, we've got to be fighting each other a lot. So I just think it's in our best nature to make sure that we're doing it for the right reasons. And, I'm sorry, I've probably been talking too long.
No.
You're fine.
Yeah. And she goes quiet for a second, and, like, the news broadcast takes kind of focus for a second as everyone's eyes are drawn to it, mentioning the police capture of a number of villains and the finding of a number of bodies in the lake surrounding. Specifically, the body of the arcade has been pulled out. It is basically the criminal recently making his way back into the mainstream media. The arcade has been, recovered from blah, blah, blah. And like, as this is happening, there's just like this little static surge through the television for a second.
Surge is back.
Twitch! Nope. Like it.
But everyone else reacts to different names mentioned in this in different ways. Yeah.
I would like to understand who's reacting to what.
Sure. I don't have a list of these because it was a detail vague enough for me to give the gist of without giving specifics.
That's
so
fair.
The gist of the room, what you are asking to read, is everyone responds to one of the villains named in the same way the four of you do to the arcade.
Mm-hmm.
And Kurt speaks up. So everyone who attacked us is dead.
Is there any common thread between like all the reports of how these bodies looked when they were found? Or is it just the body was found?
The news is absolutely the body was found and people can rest in peace for these.
Cool. No details given.
Not rest in peace. No, I mean even that works. Can rest easier knowing that these villains are gone. It's just a quick names given,
Okay,
really.
so no cause of death.
Nothing gruesome or not fitting for the news.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna walk a distance up the wall and look down and count everyone out loud.
Mhm.
1, 2, 3, and verbally out loud making sure that everyone is counted out loud.
Mhm.
And say, that's what we started with? That's what we've got now. They came at us with everything that they had, and we're still standing.
Yeah, and between the 14 or 16?
14.
14, thank you. I thought so, but my brain
We
was
had
saying-
2 more Ryans and they both died.
Between the 14 of you,
Ryan
it looks
Himura
like they
Johnson.
were Ryan Himura Johnson Vigard,
Oh God.
because Vigard is his last name.
The family trees are getting so complicated.
Yeah, your dad's actually ancient and birthed many generations. That's how you have quarter and 8th and 16th siblings.
All right.
But what was I saying? Yeah, there's a total of 5 villains named who attacked the 14 of you. Each of them dead or found in terrible condition and brought to jail for their crimes.
Okay.
Was Surge one of the ones that was?
No, Surge
Okay.
was captured on campus proper.
Cool.
And there is absolutely a blurb about a high class villain being escorted back to DD Turnablock, and there's a big show, and everyone's congratulating Saltpeter on the capture.
There's 14 of us then on the roof. There's 14 of us now. They tried and they failed. We're getting practical experience out in the field. The race to become heroes, we're already running it. We're all here because we did stick together. Just like Ramona said. And we gotta continue to stick together. Obviously, they want to pit us against each other for homework. That's good too. So you're going to find cases where you don't know how to deal with a situation. And the way to deal with that situation is to rely on the people around you. Whatever it is that comes at us next, we can handle it together. Because that's what heroes do.
Mm-hmm.
What's the movie?
Oh, so I found kind of a classic. I'm a bit of a horror buff in addition to the nature documentaries I really like. And this one, it's called Saw. And it's supposed to be really psychological, scary, and we've been talking about that a lot. But then I thought, that's lame. Saw sounds boring. So I got a different one called Blade. And Blade is supposed to be... and she goes off for a while with a couple of options before she's like, but finally I settled on... And she puts in the movie, and she's like, but I have to sit towards the front so I can be in people's peripherals so you can actually see the movie, okay? Sorry. Hope I don't blind anyone. But, I mean, if I'm not sitting towards the front, you're not going to be able to see the movie anyways. Because everything's dark. But I thought that would get to the ambience.
So, this is a good time to mention that Rin has the fearless advantage and cannot be affected by fear, basically. So as the movie's happening, she essentially just kind of quietly mama bears anyone who's getting a little too afraid. Just the very quiet, sit next to me, don't worry, you'll be okay. Squeeze the hand
There's
as
just
hard as you have to
5
squeeze.
or 6 of us just clustered around Rin.
Just pick apart and hold on.
And so you get this big group cuddle puddle watching this movie together. And it's not actually that scary. At the end of the day, Ramona settled on something pretty mild. But it is the bonding experience that matters here. And this kind of continues through the night until it doesn't.
I go up to the ceiling and I can't sit still, so I start training up there.
For sure.
During the movie.
Envy, 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 envy.
But everyone's together. And it despite the small bits of tension that had been building, and the large bits of tension that had been building, everyone kind of feels this unity again, and is reminded of the morning on the roof, watching the sun rise over your new futures together. And the night comes to a close. Everyone goes to their respective dorms, and we fast forward through to Monday, where the concert happens. Rex caught off guard that everyone's here. You making the rolls over there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anything important?
Nope.
Okay. As we find ourselves in this concert hall, and Rex, normally his hair messy and down. Ramona's in like a balcony seat alone, so she doesn't bother anyone. I hate saying that, but that's the case. But
Ryan.
she's always got Ryan with her because Ryan can keep an eye on her to dim the dark. They're good friends, off camera.
Oh, so sweet.
And Rex, like his normally wild mane of hair, is pulled into a very classical ponytail, like combed through. He's not wearing his usual like casual streetwear. He's in a proper like tux and bow tie, dressed to match the rest of the orchestra he's a part of, the Sunrise City Youth Orchestra. And Ramona mentions on the way that this is important to him because this is the first time that he's actually got a solo with the orchestra.
Ooh.
What's
And
his
like
instrument?
cello. He's a cellist.
Nice.
Chill.
And everyone makes their way in, and you experience something kind of unique and magically profound in that during his solo, he incorporates his power of sound manipulation so that he can create impossible dynamics that are otherwise you cannot do them with regular music. You can control your speed and your accuracy and precision and technicality of the notes. You can control to some degree the volume of these notes, but he can do so much more. And it is a blistering and beautiful and mournful solo.
Allie is straight up weeping.
Yeah.
Rin is
As he's got nearly 3.5 minutes of this cello, but it feels like a lifetime. And he finally ends, and the orchestra kicks back in, and the whole thing telling this sort of like overarching story of loss, remorse, grief, acceptance, and moving forward. And like just at some point during that solo, there's like you can see him trying to maintain his calm, and Terrence is actively like crying and gripping the chairs of his the chairs of his arms, the arms of his chair. And we move through the end, and there's the like polite applause followed by the students who don't know any better standing up and uproariously clapping.
Rin gets up and is like, yeah, at least 15 points.
And you guys all end up making your way out of the orchestra.
Wait, can I ask a really asinine question
Yes.
first? What does everyone here wear to the orchestra?
Yeah, that's
because
important.
we're all
That's
very
important.
atypically dressed human
I forced
beings.
you into something,
No, so-
not a dress.
Here's the
but
thing,
something
Rin's
looking
mother
like
always
formal.
tried to force her into dresses, and as soon as she came out here, she got different casual formal wear. So she's in like black slacks and like a flowered top, but it's all very like loosely cut, and she's 100% still in basically the formal equivalent of athletic wear. But her hair, instead of being in like an athletic ponytail, is this vague attempt at like slicking it back into something straight, but it's more of just a straight back mane.
Like yours.
Yes.
Cool. Allie?
The biggest difference to her appearance at the moment is that on the right side wing, there are now 2 panels that are stained glass looking, rather than just the one. But she would be in like a backless dress, like she's in a nice dress of some kind
I'd
of
hope it's backless.
lightweight material that is cut perfectly for her. Like she knew what she was doing when she was picking it out in some kind of.
It's probably the nicest thing she owns.
And it's one of the ones where it's got like cut from the knees and then it goes down towards the back. I don't know.
High-low.
There we go. High-low.
High-low, mermaid, handkerchief. There's all kinds of
something-
different cuts.
Some kind of fancy
Sure.
So pretty.
do up in some kind of like a solid pale like blue or lavender or something. Just
Nice.
with like the matching handbag, the matching shoes, and her hair is instead of in the 2 braids or the 1 braid, I guess, as the illustrator has done it,
Nice.
is
Instead of a
just
certain
like
number
done
of
up in
braids.
like a nice bun. Like she knows what she was doing this evening.
Yeah, she spent time. She prepared. Isaac?
Curious, did Aries sit next to Ellie at the concert?
Yeah. If she'd let him.
She said.
Ramona bought the tickets.
No, Lenny bought the tickets.
Oh.
Ramona suggested, and Lenny's like, done.
Mm-hmm. Since Allie hasn't dismissed him and said like, sure, as a group, I guess, then she would have let him sit next to with Rin on one side and.
So Aries' outfit.
You can sit next to me as friends.
Normally, he's got leg warmers and sweats.
Yeah.
Now he's wearing like brown slacks, but they're like very 70s. They flare bell bottom style at the bottom to account for his talons. And he's kind of in general 70s formal. He's got
with the ruff in the front.
He's got a ruffled front shirt, and his wings are actually bound.
But that's his arms.
I'm sorry, yeah, duh. Sorry. But also very flowy, ruffly shirt. Sorry, I got him confused with a different character I have yet to introduce.
Okay.
I was gonna be like,
I was like, damn, he's going hard.
But his hair is still as uncouth as ever. But he looks very 70s, flared, bell-bottom, ruffled, like ready to go disco. But this is like what formal attire is when you're feathery. And then we move to Isaac.
Just
I'll get everyone in the end. I'll just
A
rapid
wetsuit,
fire
but
them.
with a bow tie.
It's a pinstripe wetsuit.
It's just now it's buttoned down actually with actual pants and actual socks over the kung fu shoes that are still there. It needs its second pair of shoes.
Big mood.
The collared shirt is short sleeved and one of the wetsuit sleeves is clearly rolled up underneath it because the other one is still down. It just sits there the whole time.
Robin.
Rin thumb wrestles him while they're in it just to keep his energy somewhere.
He's got his knitting.
Robin's hair is kind of half up, half down, and she's like clearly tried to like crimp / curl it / do something with it, but she's not really good at it yet.
Nice.
So it's like kind of uneven, but it's clear that she tried.
Rin offered a lot of incorrect opinions.
And Robin maybe followed one.
She was like, what if you try that? Higher heat, lower heat, more heat, less direct heat.
She's like filled in her brows. She's got mascara on. But skipped like blush or like any lip outside of like just like a very loosely tinted gloss. She's actually taken out her nose piercing because she doesn't feel like it's formal.
Okay.
And has just like the little clear plastic things. And then she's got on something that looks like it could convincingly be a prom dress. It's got like a little too much beading, a little too much frill. It's like you should probably be wearing this somewhere else, but this is like the fanciest thing she's been to recently, so she's like, I'm wearing this. And just like little like 2-inch strappy heels.
Nice.
Yeah,
And then
all in like a sapphire kind of color.
Cute.
Yeah.
Cute. And then I'll rapid fire.
Shit by Jareth.
Probably.
Okay, so
What's
rapid
he
firing.
wearing?
Jareth is in very 20s formal. Suspenders, button-up shirt, pants, and like his hair is very cleanly in a duck's ass style, as opposed to like his usual like messy ruff. Lenny looks like she stepped out of Victorian England.
Jesus Christ, Lenny.
As her dress is wild, and she's like, she did buy everyone seats, and they're great seats, so she's not bothering anyone in her dress that takes up like 4 chairs.
She paid for all those chairs.
Yes, she did. Because their family's fucking loaded. Then rapid firing. Let's see. Terrence is dressed almost identically to his brother, but instead of a proper black with blue trim tux, it is a black with pink trim tux.
Cute.
Twins and such.
Where's just close siblings. We keep thinking they're twins.
They're twins now.
They're almost twins. And that was the joke. Ramona's attire is very like not formal. She doesn't seem to own anything too nice. It's nicer than her usual hoodie and like tatty jeans, but it's very clear she doesn't own formal attire. It's just like a monocolor shirt and fresh black jeans that haven't been cut, and no mask or hoodie, and she has earrings in, and this is like the nicest thing she's ever worn. That's not a character that you've met yet. And basically anyone I haven't mentioned because I don't want to go on all day. They're wearing some degree of nice. If there's anyone in particular you guys want to know, I'll happily do them.
I think we hit all my know-abouts.
I want to know what kind of snooty high collar nonsense Kurt's wearing.
you
Yeah. So you know how I described Lenny as Victorian England?
Mm-hmm.
Consider him also Victorian England, where it's like that raised but not popped collar overshirt with a very nice ruffled t-shirt. Perfect cut to him. Even though he's not muscular, he looks good. He looks like it's very fitting to him.
Mm-hmm.
And his hair is like it's as curly as ever, but he doesn't have glasses on. He's got contacts in this time. And he has like a very regal looking scarf kind of draped around and falling over one shoulder, and an earring in over here, kind of like beaded gold coming down to like right
Nice.
here. Mm-hmm.
What about my sister?
Your sister? She is wearing a very elegant, similar to Allie actually, almost mermaid cut, but hers has that back. It's just draped lower on one side than the other in the back, and her hair is likewise down and crimped, so it's like
Beach wave.
beach
looking
wavy.
thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the crescent that she usually wears in her hair is kept on a necklace. And she just whispers, "In case I need it."
That's why I have these.
Yeah. That's why and she taps it and you just
Oh, that's so fucking cool.
yeah, that's where that comes from. And so that's the important people.
God,
Yeah.
I just realized that Rin just is like a lesbian, and I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. She just
Yeah.
looks like a 30-year-old lesbian.
Yep.
And I'm so on board with that aesthetic. Because also everyone else mentioned shoes, and I was like, she's not in heels.
No.
She's
she's
in
not.
like dress shoes at most.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She's probably
She's
in
in,
them
like,
because
flats. She's in
she
dress
originally
flats.
showed up in sneakers, and Allie was like, no. And she was like,
I know you own nicer shoes than this because we bought them when you got here.
and we're like, damn it.
And I will say, as everyone heads back, this is actually intended to be the end of this session. Because I'm attempting to match shonen pacing, this was supposed to be effectively like our mid-season recap episode,
Okay.
where we look back at what has happened and develop a little new plot, but mostly focus on the interpersonnel relationships with the characters. I will be doing one of these recap-esque sessions every time. I plan on giving you guys a level up, which
Okay.
I will be doing now. Everyone,
Ta-da!
you advance to power level 6. You gain 15 power points to spend as you wish. Please, when you have these builds finished, send them my way for approval. I need to still double check the effort on your thing, but I'm pretty sure I'm okay with it. And yeah, that's gonna bring us to a close as we spend the weekend, the extended extra day as well, for whatever reason, working on the students bonding before they all have to start beating the snot out of each other.
That's both to me.
And yeah, if anyone had anything they wanted to do in session before that, then there was theoretically a day that I did not do. But like I said, I want to have a more relaxed, with some combat, sometimes maybe, sort of session like this anytime the level up is planned, because I'm trying to play with the pacing and match that of shonen, and I like those kinds of episodes on the real download, like the swimming contests and shit.
Uh-huh.
It's fun.
And I will try to make a point in the future to make sure I have it incorporate all of my player characters. But in particular, there's a bit of development that I'd wanted to get done in this first theoretical mini arc that I hadn't, and I was like, this is where I have to put it. So I will be better about that in the future to include everyone. But I hope everyone enjoyed. I hope everyone enjoyed. That's the session. Thank you, anyone listening, past, present, or future, for tuning in. If it's from the past, wow, you're cool. If it's from the future, wow, great choice. And if it's the present, that's probably likely. And hi, 0 to 2 of you. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. Flavor Text and New Dawn University will continue next week. I think. Any reason we wouldn't? No.
No, not
Okay.
next week. You were saying the extra day thing. I don't know specifically what would be sent.
Okay.
Just go with what Allie would want to do. Would just send Jareth a text starting with like, I'm sorry, I don't know quite what the words to say, but I feel like I should just check. Are you okay? Like, how are you doing?
And you get, I'm good, as the
Okay.
only response.
Okay. Good talking.
And then a cool glasses emoji.
Gotcha.
Like with the shades.
Like-
the B parentheses. And that wraps our session
Okay.
of New Dawn. Thank you for that heads up. And thank you all for tuning in. Hope to see you next week. Welcome to our table. Bye.